Hello and welcome. This is Alchemist X, and we are right on the cusp of the 7.5 year anniversary for Alchemist Code. So there's a bit I want to talk about related to that. I'm going to showcase this fastest clear that I've had for an auto repeat hell level to date. And then after that, I'm going to showcase some not so special summoning I did while talking about the news that was received, as well as my overall opinion of how best to handle saving versus spending, given what we know. Yeah, this level was just, sustain was not an option, so the only viable path that I could choose was to just go for as much damage as possible as quickly as possible, and luckily it worked out. So yeah, let's talk a bit more about upcoming things. Okay, so I'll start with the upcoming things, and then I'll explain why I'm doing this banner when typically I hate pickup banners. So, August, it's been announced that Yaris version 2 is going to be coming out, and besides that, for the kind of end of summer towards August Yukata thing, Lindrake is going to be getting his second memento. So if either of those are something that you've been waiting for, definitely hang on to your gems. Yaris is going to be most likely a 20 step, so that's a pretty big commitment gem-wise, so hopefully they'll have Taga pay, so it's a little bit cheaper. And then I would expect Lindrake to just be 9 step with a selector. Aside from that, Amane is going to be getting a special memento, kind of similarly to how Tina has one, and that one is pretty good if you're a big fan of Tina. So if you got Amane's Job 3 and you really like using Amane, that's definitely something to look out for too. So overall, I will go by the banners just line by line, but my overall consensus is that most people will be better off saving unless you've got some units that you really want to raise, because there is a coin banner. If Andex, Zangetsu version 2, Melville, Laurium, maybe not Kalmia because her shards are a little bit easier to get, although they are very cheap in the shop. If you want to, for a small amount of gems, get like 50 shards of them, that can be a pretty worthwhile endeavor. Because I just did 2 steps of this. Both of the steps were absolute garbage as expected because my account's just been pretty awful RNG-wise. Nonetheless, though, spent effectively 2,700 gems once you include the rebates for the gem spent bonus. I got 50 shards of Andex thus far, and I might get a few more. Not sure how to spend the coins yet. I'm going to hang on to the other 75. But for me, that got me to being less than 100 shards of Gate 7 for him, and that's very, very good. So that's why I did that. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the banners. And here we are at the banners. So first up, there is a 777 number of steps you can do increases by 1 each day, but everything here is normal pool. So in general, I think that the value is pretty low. It could be useful if you're within 777 of a gem spent milestone. That might be worthwhile, but other than that, I would try to focus on getting limited units just because the value of your gems will be that much higher. There is a reroll banner for mementos, so you get 5 stars. You can reroll 3 times. However, nothing here is guaranteed, so if RNG is really bad to you, you wasted 5,000 gems. So definitely not recommended. If you are able to be patient, I would much more recommend either a 7-step that has a selector at the end. They're kind of rare, but when they come up, very high value. Or the 55/65 5-star memento, which is definitely more gems, but the value per gem is much, much higher. Like even if you only spent 5k worth of gems on one of those all 5-star memento banners, I think you get much more out of it, even if the option to reroll isn't there. So then we get to the pickup banner that I did 2 steps of earlier. It's definitely not the most amazing banner, but it has Andex on it, so that was why I did it, because for getting 50 shards of Andex for 2,700 gems is, to me, a very good value. Depending on where you are in his enlightenment, it could be a very good value for you too. But also, Zangetsu version 2, you want as many shards of him as you can get if you're working on raising him up to that max limit breakpoint. And then Laurium and Melville are also on the scarce end of the spectrum, just because they don't have EX hard quests. Now, Azami and Kalmia do, so that brings their scarcity down, and thus the value of the coins down a bit. But if you were trying to fast track them to a certain gate, you've already got them in the soul port, you're already doing the EX quest, and like, you know, so you want like their gate 5 today, and doing 2 steps of this banner will get you there, then, that could be a very good thing. Otherwise, I don't recommend going very hard into this banner because the value just starts to really drop off after that point. And then to go along with the unit banner, there is one for their mementos. Now, I think this one is a little silly because you pick 6 and there are 7 options. But if you really want to get one of theirs, pretty much what I was saying about the 5-step, the other more valuable options in the future, if you can wait for them, are going to be much better. But say you had to have like Andex's second memento today. Well then, yeah, you could do 10 steps of this. And if your luck is bad, you can just buy it with 1,000 of the coins that they'll give you with the selector. Not the highest value ever, but it can at least fill that need. You can at least choose the thing that you want, which is better than the above banner, even if the value in and of itself is not too great. And then that's everything for this week that's new. For another week or so, the Matia summer stuff and the other summer mementos, as well as just the regular banner for Matia, Claybell, and then the banner for both of their original mementos will be around. So you can definitely choose to do that too if you've just been waiting to earn a little bit more gems to finish one of those up. But otherwise, definitely, just to reiterate, I think most people should hang on to their gems either for the 7.5 anniversary or for some of the upcoming stuff that was mentioned for August. So if you are summoning this week, I wish you good luck, and I will see you all next time.